I'm sorry, Alicia. I think we cannot hear your voice.
No, we still can't hear you.
You hear my voice now?
Yes, it is
Yes.
now. Thank you.
Okay. Shall we start again? Okay. Good day to all speakers, guests, and fellow participants. Welcome to Human Resource Future Challenge, Adaptive, Innovative, and Collaborative, a webinar presented by School of Communication Unika Atmajaya and Perhumas. My name is Alicia Putri from the School of Communication Unika Atmajaya, class of 2017, and I will be your Master of Ceremony today. This webinar will mainly discuss how organizations seek potential candidates with some knowledge, skills, capability, and personality. As part of the Road to National Public Relations Convention 2020, we aim to prepare younger generation to be ready for the future and contribute to sustainable development goals. Now I will introduce you to our outstanding speakers, consist of Professor Dr. Balakrisnan Parasuraman from University Malaysia Kelantan, Marlin Danisutejo, Director of Marketing Communication Intercontinental Pondok Indah, Jakarta, Natalia Widyasari from School of Communication at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia, and also we have a voice from Z Generation represented by Raisa Gloria, LL Emanuela Reika, alumni class of 2014, Louis Daniel, alumni class of 2017, and Daniel Shahreza, student class of 2018. This webinar will be moderated by L. Chris Natalia from School of Communication at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia. Participants, we are now going to listen to the opening remarks delivered by the Chair of Perhumas, Mr. Agung Laksamana. Sir, the time is yours.
Okay. Thank you, Alicia. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable everyone's Dr. Eko Widodo, Dean of Faculty Business Administration and Communication Science of University of Atmajaya, Dr. Dorin Kartikawangi, our good friends, our seniors in Perhumas as well, Head of School of Communication at Atmajaya, our distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Balakrisnan Parasuraman from University of Malaysia, Kelantan, Marlin, my good friend, Director of Marketing Communication Intercontinental Hotel, Ibu Natalia Widyasari, our moderator later on, University of Atmajaya, as a speaker from the Communication Departments of University of Atmajaya, and our moderator, Ibu L. Krishna Natalia. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Selamat siang. Salam Indonesia Bicara Baik. So on behalf of Perhumas, Indonesian PR Association, let me begin with a warm welcome, and I'm pleased to welcome all of you to the discussion in our Road to Konvensi Nasional Humas 2020 PR Convention this afternoon. And thank you for virtually joining us and be part of this important topic this afternoon. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share only a few things today. Firstly, my most appreciations and special recognitions should be given to our Dorin for arranging this fantastic event. So please give your big virtual round of applause to Dorin for making this thing happen. So thank you, Dorin. Secondly, the theme is quite important, which is Human Resource Future Challenge, being innovative, adaptive, collaborative. This has raised a common issue to all of us. And I would like to highlight the aspect of human resources in this point. As we all know, most important textbook stressing that people are our greatest asset. So I have heard a lot of interesting stories that shape the way we view PR and communications. And one of the interesting story happened in 1960s during President Kennedy's visit to NASA Space Center in Houston. While walking through the facilities, the President Kennedy and his entourage stopped in to meet and greet all the NASA employees, from astronauts to engineers. And as he passed by, President Kennedy stopped and meet a man in overall sweeping, and he's sweeping the floor in one of the rooms. He paused and he shook hand and introduced himself. I'm Kennedy. And the guy said, of course I know you, Mr. President. And President Kennedy asked what he's doing in NASA. And the man replied proudly and he said, well, Mr. President, I'm helping to put a man on the moon. So what an answer. Most people will see a janitor whose duty was to keep the office clean and shining and everything else. But what moved me the most about this story was, of course, how an employee, supposedly at a low on organizational charts, understood the big picture, the purpose of a company. So why sharing this story is a great way of getting our business and vision across. And for me, the key is communications, the answer. To be exact, to be precise, the importance of internal communication for our employees. So here's the argument stands. In the context of any organization's own internal communications, if people are indeed our greatest asset, why so many companies seriously investing in internal communication for their employees? So obviously, what we want is that all employees to become a PR and brand ambassador for the organizations. So thirdly, is there any impact and correlation between communication and employees' engagement to the bottom line of the profit of the company? Well, here's the good news. Research showed that AON Hewitt in Trends in Global Employees Engagement found that 5% increase in employee engagement is linked to 3% of revenue in the following year. So 3%. So let's imagine this for a second. Supposedly, your company or organization is able to raise staff engagement by 50%, you can boost your revenue by 30% to your bottom line. It's amazing. So what it means for PR is able to show the direct impact to the business and to the bottom line. I'm sure your CEO and CFO will be happy to hear this, the impact of PR aligned directly to the business bottom line. So how can we achieve those things? I would like to propose the idea of what we're going to discuss, obviously, being adaptive, being innovative, and more importantly, collaborations. PR in these days and age cannot work alone. PR cannot work in silos and being ego-sectoral that I'm so important in PR. Instead, PR must collaborate with human resources, with marketing, with finance, with advertising, with other sectors of division. We must connect with other industry champions, universities and campuses, and professionals, just like what we're doing today. So with that context, ladies and gentlemen, I remember there is a saying in Africa, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So before closing, let's consider this. What it would be like if we as a PR practitioners went together, not alone and fast, but together and far. So thank you. Please enjoy the rest of the discussion. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Mr. Agung Laksamana, for your remarks. Now we are going to see a short video from KNH. Please play the video. We are going to listen to remarks delivered by the Faculty of Business Administration and Community Science. Sir, the time is yours.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Alicia, for the opportunity. And the first is thank you, Pak Agung Laksamana, the chairman of Perhumas. Thank you, Pak. Kita jumpa lagi. Kemudian thank you also for the speaker today, Mr. Professor Dr. Balapara Suraman from the University of Malaysia, Kelantan. Also Ibu Marlin Danu Sutejo from Perhumas and Bunat, the three speaker of this meeting. And welcome to this webinar, and thank you for the opportunity we can join in this webinar to support the National Convention of Perhumas in the next month. And this topic is, as Mr. Agung Laksamana said, is an important topic now about human resource challenge in the 21st century. Because, as you know, that in the century, the challenge for the human resource is not only from the humans, but also and importantly is from machines, from technology. Machines will not do everything in the future, of course, but machine slowly will be replaced some of the human tasks, human job. In the future, maybe is the world with not enough works for everyone. The job is doing by machine, replaced by machines. So maybe it's not enough work anymore for humans. So we have to innovative, we have to creative, and we have to collaborative, as Mr. Agung Laksamana said before. That collaboration among human is very important in this human resource challenge in this world now. And the other issue is the challenge of workforce is human resource today is about challenge of finding the meaning in life. It's often said that the work is not simply means to wage or occupation, but work is also about the meaning of the life. You can say that people without works maybe didn't have a meaning anymore. So the time is a good opportunity to ask all of us to discuss about the meaning of the works, the meaning of the work, the meaning of the challenge of human resource today. Thank you all. Terima kasih, Alicia.
Thank you, Mr. Eko Widodo, for your remarks. Before we get started, I would like to remind you some of the rules to follow during this webinar. First, please change your username to your institution. Properly. Make sure to have a connection. Now we're going to start the webinar. Indonesia.
Okay, thank you, Alicia. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Alkris Natalia. I'm a lecturer at School of Communication at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia, and I will be the moderator in this plenary session. In digital era, we are facing rapid technological developments that require us to adapt to these developments. And people demand new ways of working. People must have new skills adapted to this digital technology. And organizations are now looking for the knowledge, skills, capabilities, and good personality of their potential candidates. The Economic World Forum for 2025 has noted specific skills that a person must have to be part of the future, such as adaptive, innovative, and collaborative. So, how we face the future challenge and what skills that we must have to face the future? Let us find out through this plenary session and discussion. In this plenary session, we have 3 speakers, and every speaker has 15 minutes to present. Then we have 4 young generations that will share their perspectives and experiences around 5 to 7 minutes each person. And after that, we will have a discussion session with Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can write down your question in the chat room, and I will read it in the Q&A session. Okay, now let me introduce you to the first speaker. The first speaker is Professor Dr. Bala Krishnan Parasuraman. Prof. Bala got his PhD from Wollongong, Australia. In 2013, he is invited as a professor in University Malaysia Kelantan. He is a co-chair Workers' Participation Study Group, International Employment Relations Association, International Labour Organization, Geneva, and he published around 18 books and more than 200 articles in referred journal. And Prof. Bala will tell us about technology disruption and its impact on human resources and industrial relations, challenges for organization. So please, Prof. Bala, the time is yours.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry for that. First of all, thank you to the moderator, our honorable moderator, and also to Dr. Doreen, the chairperson for this webinar, and also Dr. Iko, the vice dean, and Alicia, as who are start of this webinar, and also all my beloved docent in Indonesia and students from Atmajaya, and also students from UMK. There are students also from Masters and PhD also joining here. I'm very glad to be here as a speaker to share with my some knowledge regarding about this topic. And I believe that this is also part of the collaboration between University Malaysia Kelantan and Atmajaya. We already signed MOU few years back. I'm looking forward that this collaboration will be go on and on. All right, my topic, I think I share with also with some of the industry group and also academic. That I think important now, digital disruption and its impact on human resources, challenges for organization. I believe that Humas is a public relation association, a national association in Indonesia. I believe they are doing very good job. The collaboration with Atmajaya, where I think public relation, human resource, actually there are two have some connected between these two, because if you cannot speak in terms of communication, then you cannot create a good human resource. All right. So next slide, please. All right. Okay, this one already introduced by our moderator. Next, please. All right. So I just introduced a little bit. I think some of you students, docent, maybe you have never been to Malaysia. This is a peninsula Malaysia. Of course, we divided by Sabah and Sarawak. Previously, I worked in Sabah, which is in the Borneo Island. Then I was promoted as full professor in year 2013. Then I moved to University of Malaysia Kelantan. Our campus is located in near East Coast of Peninsula Malaysia, near seaside. I hope many of you in the future after COVID-19 is going to be less and less. Maybe completely no COVID. You are invited to come and visit our university. It's very small town, similar like also like in Indonesia. The culture almost same. Next, please. All right, if you see the campus almost the same as like your Atmajaya. I saw the photo already, the video, almost same. So we are divided by 3 campus. One is in Jeli, about 2 hours from Kota Baru, which is a city, capital city for the Kelantan. And we have a campus in Bengkalan Ceper, which is near to airport. It's in the city center where I'm working now. So I'm working at the Faculty of Entrepreneurship and Business. And then we have another campus, Bacho, which is the main campus. Also, we have Faculty of Creative and Innovative. and also maybe we can collaborate in the future with this, because we have a similar interest between these two universities. Okay, next please. All right, so as the moderator, I'm published few books in the area of human resource and also in IR since I was lecturer in year 1996 until now I'm writing books. So my next book will be collaboration between University of Indonesia with Dr. Ariana and Riani, and we are done the research last time, so we are doing collaboration. So we're going to maybe in the future we also can collaborate with Atmajaya in terms of publication and so on. So we welcome Atmajaya academics to work with us. Okay, next please. Right. So this is what I'm going to discuss today. So I mean, I think most of you know that a few years back, some of them even not born in this group. They are Gen Z group, but I think the topic is actually discussed a long time back in 1980s and 1990s with the term of globalization, where the globalization actually taking place in those days by multinational companies. Multinational companies like go abroad and like coming to the ASEAN, developing undeveloped and developing nations. They are coming to the develop their industry in this part of the world, and you can see that example Indonesia, Malaysia, they have a lot of multinational company operating, and at the same time they're also bringing their what they call their HR practice and IR practice to the country. But today you can see that the same phenomena, but I think more on technological disruption. So you can see that today, like we both, suppose we have seminar physically in your place and my place, but we save a lot of cost actually here. We can see that one way to reduce the cost, we still run the seminar, we still achieve the objective, but by virtually. So this is interesting that you're going to see next 5 or 10 years later. Okay, next slide, please. All right, before I'm going to start, actually, I'd like to introduce, on the 4th of November, I presented one webinar in Mumbai, India, and I recorded 46 millions of the corona. You just imagine within 2 or 10 days or 2 weeks, the number increasing 59,000. I mean, there'll be 10,000 increase. So you can see that how the destruction, not only by digital, also COVID bring us more and more escalate the digital economy now. So that we can see that, and this is also very serious phenomena that we are going to see. But at the same time, if you look at the positive way, COVID-19 bringing us to the world of digital now. Okay, next slide, please. All right. Then, okay, this is a question that I'm discussing just now. So you can see that we start from the issue on the industrial revolution. I think we start with some kind of in Europe, right, in 18th century, where we start with the first mechanical and then keep on going, and until now we are talking about 4.0 IR. Some people say 5.0 IR, already taking place now. So what do you mean that? Actually, the mean is that we are moving to one era to another era. So today, totally, we can see that the 4.0 IR was discussed theoretically and just introduced few years back. But after COVID-19, it's really accelerated the whole world now, that the whole world changed, not only the impact to the HR, also impact to the education, impact to the political scenario, and everything will change. Today, the world is totally different that we are living now. So I hope that the Z generation now and this group, you should understand the challenges ahead is actually waiting for us in terms of job creation and also in the job. So job is actually not like what we're thinking in the few years back. It totally changed, tremendously changed now. The whole thing like taking by the IT revolution, and also a new job was created. So all this we must go through the phase by phase, and the COVID maybe be there for us, but other development you can see that IT and so on. Okay, next. All right, so you can see that today the world totally controlled by the digital economy, digital revolution, and also disruption. Okay, a lot of business disruption. The ordinary business, like example, like you're selling in supermarket, you're selling things in the outside. You do all the traditional producing product, everything now all through the digitalized. So for example, I'm actually working in Kota Baru. My family stay in Kajang. So my daughter and my wife there. So I'm normally traveling every weekends to go visit them. But because due to the MCO now, we got a control order now. So we can travel because they are the red area. We also in the red area. So what I do every time she message me, that I want this, I want that. She want the books, she wanted this. So very easy. I just go to Lazada or Shopee or Alibaba, something like that. We got Lazada, Shopee. I just go in and then I just order and just send back to her, and she already received that. And same thing, my son studying in Sabah, doing what they call pre-science. So he also need help that I want to pay my tuition fee this time. So I say no problem, just send. So I already done everything with like few seconds, everything done. I can communicate this. This is the world that we are now. So example today, I'm just traveled to the Atmajaya. I can give a lectures and so on. Those days you have to pay me, you have to pay the air ticket, pay hotel, pay this. So costly for Atmajaya. And then I told Dr. Doreen, I don't need anything. I just want to offer my service. I want to just offer my knowledge and sharing with you all. That is the world that we're sitting. So all these jobs taken by distracting by the technology, but it's sometimes good, it's a fast, efficient. And today, even the car, we just introduced one Malaysian car, national car, they just introduced. So the car auto parking, I tried really by myself. I just go and try, see how it park by itself. No need to do anything. Just order, it just park for you. And you can talk to the car also now. You can just follow. I believe another 3 or 4 years later, the car go by themselves. So that's the world we are living now. So scary, but that's what's happening now. Okay, next. All right. So you can see that everything is on the cloud. Okay. So like my mobile, I have a big what do you call Tera. So I got 1,000 Tera. Then I can keep over 40,000 photos in the phone. Of course, that suddenly happened, you lost. But what I mean that you don't disturb. Those days I buy phone, I have to go and download, disturbing. Today, no need. I just keep it, and I just put the photos there and here. Example, I go nowadays actively LinkedIn. LinkedIn is very good for the students, for the academic and so on, especially students to know a lot of managers there. You can talk to them. I use a LinkedIn to my students. Some of my students, I advise them to go there, and some of them got a job. So the world is lost. So everything on the cloud now. We don't know where they are. So we're talking about big data. So big data is going to be more important to every organization, either in private or public, or even the university, or in manufacturing and so on. So this is going to be big data. We keep it on the cloud. So and the IT industry is going to be more advanced and advanced. And one day, maybe now also we don't have paperless, nothing. We don't use even nothing to consume the papers. So you can help environment clean and so on. At the same time, you reduce the cost for the organization. And same time, the work is so fast, so efficient. So everything can be done in front of us. We can working from home. So all these ideas are already posted about 20 years ago when I start talking about teleworking in 1990s. I published a paper. At that time, nobody can accept what I'm trying to say. Teleworking, working from home. At that time, they cannot accept. Oh, they say, how can I accept? But today, you look at that, the whole world doing. I think I saw some of you working from home, not from office because of the COVID-19. So in terms of the good thing, positive thing of COVID-19, actually it brings us to independency, how to appreciate others, how to appreciate the job and so on. Okay, next, please. All right. So you can see that the trend now actually it's everything very fast. You see mobility. Like for example, now from Kota Baru, I can just go to Atmajaya, Jakarta, very few seconds, And my students around all over Malaysia now, they're not here. Everybody in different part of the world, all Sabah, Sarawak, and so everybody is already inside, and they can follow. And same thing goes to you also. So we are like totally different world, but actually we are communicating. We are not say communicating. We are communicating. We are talking. We are working. Actually, we are working. We are also working. But this is going to happen. So cloud application and so on, data, structured, unstructured, identity, internet things. So the internet actually look at that 26 billion. By 2020, Gartner make some prediction. 26 billion of people going to use the internet. Imagine from the baby until so now you cannot say baby you cannot use the phone. Even the baby just born. when you hold the phone, the baby also, I already try all my niece children. When I look at them, wow, they can change password, everything. So all the parents, be careful. Your baby can change your password. Your baby also can, and do that, okay? Okay, next, please. Next slide, please. All right. So, but the question is threat. I think that's a threat. There's a lot of threat because security problem when you look at the data you put on the cloud and the security. And I heard that some hackers they can hack anything. So at the same time you need to improve the security on the data also. So very careful. So of course we cannot deny that we are on the controlling by the IT actually, where everybody was controlled by the by technology. That's why we call distraction. Distraction, you look at the positive way is good. You look at the other side, actually also our security and so on. Like you put a Facebook, your pictures, everything will seen by worldwide. Somebody will looking at you and so on. So there will be going to be a lot of problem also, right? On that. So next slide. All right. Okay. So what do you mean distraction? The pillars like this. So when digital distraction, there's a data, there's security, there's experience. We experience now. We are learning very fast. We're learning. Even people like me in this. I started with the chalk and talk. With a blackboard and whiteboard. Today we are using totally in terms of teaching and learning. So you go back to the industry, like the president just now from Humas talking about HR is very important. You communicate. Actually, the communication already started to the visual. Actually, we are talking through visual. The only thing that we cannot need a bit nearby, but we have to communicate actually. So the world becomes so smaller, very nearby, and I think we can go anywhere. Just few seconds, we can travel all over the world. Next, please. All right. So what do you mean the industry 4.0? With this, you can see this all the talking about big data, brilliant machines, and we can say that the mobile phone is a very brilliant machine. I think he's more brilliant than human being now. Not us, he like going like anytime, anywhere access. You can access anywhere. Sometimes people like on the car, they can listen to the webinar. The other day, I was in the busy schedule. I was driving, just put my earphone. I just listen to the webinar from America. There's somebody talking from America. We're sitting in the in Malaysia, some in India, some in the Mauritius. So you can see everybody talking in a different time. But we are so last week I bring Professor Tom from UK. His time is 7 o'clock in the morning, and here we are 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And Proton came in and we discussed everything completely. And Proton said, excellent. So we are already connected. And today with Atmajaya and so on. So I believe that those days our workers very limited, only space and physical space. But today they are going. And so to me is Humas must think differently. You are talking about public relation. Public relation is going to be totally internet and internet of things because it's mobile. So the way we manage people totally different. No more is a traditional management, totally changing. HR manager must change your mindset. Even the teachers, teaching and all this must be different world. We're looking at different world now. Next slide. Okay, next slide. All right. So, okay, what is that is happening now? You look at the aging workforce. So totally it changed through the what I mean that from the now we go elderly people, middle-aged group, and also we call a Z generation. So this Z generation totally different. We must know how to tackle them. They are not the generation that those days like our time when we worked. We still, work long hours. We're still working in the flexible, normal working hours. But the young generation, no, they're working in different working hours. They maybe work 3 hours, 4 hours. They want to what they call to explore more challenges work. So we as a managers at the workplace, HR managers must think differently. They have to think differently on that. So this is how we're going to happen next to 5 or 3 years later. So we need to prepare from now. Don't prepare tomorrow, but prepare for now. Our policy existing must change. Okay, next one. Next slide, please. All right, you can see here a few points here. I just glance through with you. Those days we own the talent. Today, no, we attract and motivate talent. Talent can come from all over the world. Example, I can say that I'm professor in Malaysia. You can hire me from here. I can work in the many parts of the world. I can work in Atmajaya as a lecturer. I can work in the night. So you can see that you can attract the best talent around the world. There's no more like we are just focused on the one country, but we're going to recruit people from all over the world. People will compete each other. Imagine next time the graduate from Harvard, the graduate from Oxford, the graduate from Tokyo will be competing each other with our. So our graduate in this room, please be ready for your updated knowledge. You are in the university, you must explore your thing, your knowledge, everything updated, because the world that we're going to do next is not under control by one country or one organization. It's controlled by the whole world, by control by somewhere in a part of the world. Right? So you can see that a lot of like talent give access to top talent around the world. We buy, we lease, we rent, we build. So that's going to happen. You can buy the talent from the world for the part-time basis and so on. You don't need to go to full-time anymore. So that's going to happen. And then we own talent data in the past, but now people own and share data. Yes, like what we do now, what I'm doing now, we share the data. All right, I'm sharing the data. So data is with me now. So you can see that this is going to happen very, very fast. Actually, even every day you can see every day new changes. Like every day the COVID cases increasing. Every day also the IT and the world totally change. Next, please.
Prof. Bala, I'm sorry, you have
Yeah.
5 minutes more.
All right, okay, no problem. I just introduced to this guy. So okay, next one, please. I'll go very fast. Next slide. The slide is moving, I think. All right. So what is the challenges for HR? You can see that the challenges is a not clear strategy, a goal on digital transformation, and then we also don't know that what is going to happen in the future. We need to prepare for ourselves, and then at the same time that we don't know what kind of policy, what kind of HR policy we prepare for the different group of people, how to tackle the problem that like COVID. One day maybe the COVID will stay with us. It will close down the whole thing, but the business keep on going. So you can see some of the key challenges that we can see that managing remote business continuity plans, employee engagement, again, public relation, how to communicate with them, participation, flexible, and so on. So these are the issues that they found during this era now. Right? Okay, next. Okay, so and the study was also done by a consultant company. They say that the issue on the today is actually everything changed. Even the meeting can be run by online, and then training can be online, and a lot of things, and some industry totally out of the system now already, like tourism due to the COVID, aviation and so on. And just imagine AirAsia was doing a lot profit in the past, but today AirAsia totally they're going to retrench people and so on. So the job is actually very, very difficult in the future. That's why I keep on asking all my students, start your entrepreneurial mindset business from now. And the business must be, again, you must know what kind of business you're going to do. So you must have everything ready from now. Don't wait for the tomorrow and so on. Next, please. Next. All right. So there will be a lot of, issue to be considered. The HR strategy must be changed in line with the digital disruption. And also the CEO must ready to accept the changes that are happening now. And along with this also, the other issues actually talk about industry harmony, minimum wage and so on, and many things issue, that even we don't know whether union relevant or not relevant in this context. And labor law, many countries never change, still using old one. So time for like Indonesia, look at the labor law, current labor, whether to add a public relation law and so on. Must be look at all this. You cannot wait and tomorrow, then tomorrow maybe we don't know what will happen, but today we must prepare ourselves. So to me, like when I wake up, I will see what the things happening today. I'm going to see what's going on here and there, and from there I have to prepare myself. I have to give the right knowledge to my students. It's up to them whether they will accept or not. Up to them. But if they don't accept, they're going to lose the whole life in the future. That's why I'm telling today the graduate is more on a creative job. Next slide. I'm going to show the skill that we need. Next one, please. Just go through. Another one. Next. Okay, stop here. All right. No. This picture. Can you? Okay. You can see that what is the skill in the most 2020 is, you can see the top 10 art skill, top 5 soft skill. Of course, creativity, persuasion, collaboration, adaptability, emotional intelligence. That is what's your theme for this webinar. Of course, I need our students to be creative. When you do your assignment, must be creative. You need to do a collaboration. I'm already engaged with you to the Atmajaya, your job to collaborate with our student, emotional intelligence, and today you see hard skill. All these skills will related to the new job will be created in the future. All right. So new job is actually totally different job. And I believe entrepreneurial going to be on top in the list of next for the graduate. So creating a job from now, not seeking for the job in the past, because in the future there will be no job available. So that is my conclusion to be made here. So I really hope that the young people who are now here, your challenges ahead is more challenges will come in your life. You don't know what's going to happen. So the job actually you need to create by yourself. You must be very creative. While you are in the university, you must look at it, what the employee really want. What the employee, so go to the LinkedIn and look at the HR manager, talk to them from now. Don't wait for the after you graduate. It's too late for you. So why in the university, go and explore yourself, join the webinar, do some work and join the association and close. So I'm very thankful to Dr. Dorian. I really appreciate your job to work with Humas. Humas is a public, private entity. You work together. So this is going to happen more and more at the university level. All right. So thank you very much, Chris, Natalia.
Okay.
I know I take your time, but I have to share this to the audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Bala, for the presentation.
Yeah.
And for participants, kindly reminder, if you have any questions, you can write down your question in the chat room. And there will be 3 echo straw from the Intercontinental Jakarta Pondok Indah Hotel and Residences for the best 3 questioners. And now we have Ibu Marlene Danu Sutejo as our speaker. Ibu Marlene Danu Sutejo is a hospitality PR with over 20 years experiences in hotel and tourism industry. She is a hotelier that has worked with various global luxury chain hotels, and at the moment is the Director of Marketing and Communications of Intercontinental Jakarta Pondok Indah Hotel and Residences. Ibu Marlene is currently serves as Head of Hotel PR Association Jakarta and also Deputy Treasurer of Perhumas. Ibu Marlene will talk about employee relations and the role of leadership. So please, Ibu Marlene, the time is yours.
Thank you, Ms. Chris Natalia. So, good afternoon. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. The Honorable Bapak Eko, Ibu Dorin, Prof. Bala, Ibu Nat, Ibu Anggia, Bapak Agung, everybody, all participants. It's really an honor, and I'm so privileged to be here. So, hello again to all of you. So my name is Marlene. Thank you for the introduction, Miss L. Chris. So today we are going to touch a little bit about hospitality PR in the recovery. As you know, the situation is still going towards recovery, and also the relation in employee relations, how we foster employee relations, and embracing the role of leadership. Next, Mas Ali. Right. So now I'm going to bring you to perhaps take a look in your bag and look what's inside. So I found this very interesting image from AVA blog site. It says 6 things inside a woman's purse. Well, this is like, it says modern, but a woman's purse. Well, you see sunglasses, you see a keychain, you see earpods, phone for sure, purse, a notebook. So this was actually a while back. Maybe some of you would notice that there are some of the things that you would carry today that was not here. So this was basically like common things that people would bring in their bags, like phone, maybe sunglasses, wallet, and all that. But today, this definitely has changed. So take a look inside again, what's in my bag in the new normal. I'm sure all of you will have your mask, will have your hand sanitizer. I have my hand sanitizer. This is not endorsing, but I have my, this is an organic disinfectant. We have everything that is essential to be packed in our bags. So in this slide, I found an interesting image also from some of these blogs. Some of the things: bring a wet tissue, bring your personal utilities, brings your disinfectant, water, vitamins. All that is, I mean, these were not in my bag before. Who would have thought that we will wear masks every day today, right? You will not leave your home without it. Without what? With the mask. Without mask. And yeah, so these are the new things that obviously we have to adapt ourselves to. Before, maybe I bring a little things in my bag, but now I have my laptop, I have my hand sanitizer, I have my disinfectant and whatnot. Everybody is carrying almost the same. That's just the new era. So this is just one of the things that we adapt ourselves to, right? Before, it was so easy to meet people, just make an appointment and, just go right there and talk to your friends, your family. But now it's different. Just like today, in a different circumstance before the pandemic, I would have come to your beautiful place, the university, and we'll meet you directly. But now we can, do it online. Like Professor Bala said exactly before, he can talk from wherever he is in the part of the world in Malaysia and talk to us online. But then also, obviously, this is just some of the small things that we need to adapt ourselves into. It's a new habit, it's a new era, it's a new normal. So that brings us to the next. So let's go back to employee relations / internal communications. So I found this also interesting map from one of the communication sites talking about internal communications and external communications. Why do we need to even touch this subject? So if you see here, internal communications, it's consisting of emails, meetings, and whatnot that you need to do. And external, as you know, this is what you the tools that you do to carry your brand outside. And you see in the middle curves there's websites, social media, flyers, events, and photography, and whatnot. So obviously, as a PR, obviously this is your duty. We are responsible for this as a communicator. We are responsible for this field, whether it's internal communications and external communications. It says in here, effective communication is, it can help reduce conflict between teams, help you keep your best staff, and improve productivity up to 25%, according to McKinsey Global Institute. Can we go next? So go back again. Now the question is, a lot of people is asking me, isn't employee relations is human resources? Sorry, can we go back? Go forward. Go forward one. Thank you. So is it HR or PR? So a lot of people are also ask me, when you're talking about employee relations, isn't it supposed to be the job of human resources? It's not public relations. So what does it have to do with me, with my field? Well, obviously, it's also part of your duty. This is where you need to collaborate with human resources. Earlier, Agung, the chief of Perhumas, already said, you do not work in silos. You do not work alone. Like in the organization, I'm sure in anywhere else in the world, like in our organization in the hotel, we have this huge, a lot of division in this hotel. We have human resources, front office, housekeeping, engineering, food and beverage. So we really need to collaborate and work together. Now back to employee relations to internal communication. So what does it have to do with us then? Again, as I said, this is your duty as the brand ambassador to work together with HR and ensure that your vision and mission, the company's SOP, and all that are instilled into amongst the organization. So internal communication is as important as external because obviously it's one of our stakeholders. So it also has its news, it also has its message to the audience, which is inside, which is your colleagues, your teammates, the people you work with. It has a media, they're the audience. It also has a publicity. It's also advertising in its own right. So how you put the message across to the team, how you instill this vision and mission to the entire organization. Again, as I said, this is where you need to collaborate, especially with human resources, because you are the brand ambassador. You are you carry the message of this company outside and also inside. You want your colleagues, your coworkers, your team to know what your company stands for, what's your vision and mission, what is your tagline. Now, if you go to, for example, you come to the hotel and you meet front office, obviously they will tell you everything. You meet food and beverage, they will tell you about the promotion, and you meet the housekeeping, for example. You may want to ask, you know, what's the tagline of the company, So it's nice to know that, when you have successfully instilled these messages, let people know and let your team knows what your brand stands for, what your company stands for. And it's as important as external and also internal. Next. Can we go next, please, Mas Fahrul? Right. So I'm sure you know Simon Sinek. He's a very famous author and also motivator. Here in Easy Quotes, he says, leading is not the same as being the leader. Being the leader means you hold the highest rank, either by earning it, good fortune, or navigating internal politics. Leading, however, means that others willingly follow you, not because they have to, not because they are paid to, but because they want to. So as a communication leader, this is where you take the leadership, you embrace the role of leadership, how you manage to, be the bearer of good news. In this situation, pandemic situation, it's, everybody needs this positivity. Everybody needs to have a bit of, a bit of a better situation for everybody. So again, how do you instill, how do you carry these messages across the board, across all the organization? Share your company's achievement. Like if you won an award, if you have maybe achieved a high score in social media, maybe somebody gives you a good comment in TripAdvisor, it's your duty to actually share it to the company, to the people you work with, to everybody. Not everybody has access to computer, for example, or have access to emails, for example. Like in the hotel, there are these very busy people in the kitchen, for example, the chefs that they are cooking all the time, and also the steward who wash the dishes. And you think the amount of time they would have to see a very long email, right? So you may want to have to find other means of communication to have your message across. Ensure that everybody is, got that message, whether it's front of the house or heart of the house, or everybody in the hotel. Maybe I bring you back a little bit. In the hotel, we have these two division: front of house, which is the public area. When you come to the hotel, you are greeted by our security in front or in the parking lot, and then you come to the lobby. You will meet our beautiful receptionist, and you are welcomed by concierge, etc. So these are the front of the house. But in the back area, there are also these BCBs, these busy people, the people that are working hard to have everything, in top notch, like in the kitchen, in the housekeeping, in the engineering, making sure all the machines work properly. So think about the amount of time they would spend on reading emails, for example. My job is with sales and marketing, so I'm with my gadget or laptop all the time. I see emails, um, WhatsApp and everything. But think about where your colleagues are in this company. As a communicator, leader, you need to really be uh, mindful and thoughtful. Who is your audience in your company? Are they accessible to emails, for example, or maybe just WhatsApp, or are they on Instagram? Use all the medias that are available, and it's always good for you to know the new media, what's coming, what now. So this actually brings us to our next slide here. Sorry, can we go back one? Yeah. So again, in this new normal, in this new era, as you know, many of businesses are hit so badly in this pandemic situation. So also in the hotel industry, I don't bring the statistics here, but it's very easy to find. But I'm just going to bring you to the next idea that we have here. So one of the things that you might want to think that what is there to create to keep you going for the stimulus. Like for example, when the pandemic started, nobody is traveling, nobody staying in the hotel, nobody is in the restaurant because the restaurant has to be closed. It's the government regulation. You have to close the restaurant. When we serve buffet, there's no more buffet. You cannot eat buffet. It's against the government regulation and also from the World Health Organization, and it's just will increase the possibility of cross contamination. So restaurant is closed only until somewhere in the midst of the pandemic in June, that after we did a thorough elevated health protocols that we can that hotels can open again the restaurant, but the business is not the same. It's not like before. Nobody stays in the hotel. I mean, Imam, I'm asking you. Maybe you also some of us doesn't want to travel or doesn't want to go, which is perfectly normal because you don't want to, you want to be safe. You want to reduce the increase of this COVID-19 distribution, which is perfectly fine, and I really respect that. So back in the hotel again, form this group communication with your team, with your peers, with other team. Talk to other departments. Don't be shy to ask ideas, to innovate, to ideate, and asking the right questions. This is from one of the very well-known learning and development company, Tyrion. They have this module, so it says asking the right question. So this is exactly what you want to do to overcome this situation. Next. So the thing is, when you want to ask the right question, right? So it's not only how much do you want to sell the room, or how much do we sell the package, because the buying power, it's obvious. The economy, everybody is hit badly. So now, sorry, can we go back one? So what we do in the hotel now, we work together with these other companies, departments, and we discuss not how much we sell, but what does the customer want to see? What do the guests needs to see? So this is what we do in our hotel in the Intercontinental Jakarta Pondok Indah and also in the group. We elevated our clean protocols. So this is what the people would want to know. You would want to know that the hotel is safe for you to travel again. You want to know that they have this health and safety protocols in place. You know, so we make this video about our heightened, elevated, clean and safe protocols from the beginning, where when people come into the hotel, they will check your temperature, and then how we clean different areas with different color coded wipes and all that, disinfectant, all hand sanitizer everywhere, signage everywhere. So this is the message that we want to give to the guest or the future guest, to the potential guest. Mind you, I think I have the date here. This is still in June or July, really back in the early time of the pandemic, where there's nobody is traveling at all. But what should we do? Let's do something. Let's talk to other departments. Let's bring together our knowledge and skills and find out what do the customer wants to see. You know, are you going to put an image about the chef cooking the bread? Maybe it's not relevant, right? But this is what finding out what's relevant and what people would really want to see today. Can we go next? Another initiative we do is work from hotel. Obviously, nobody is staying in the hotel, so the rooms are empty. So we turn these rooms into a private office. So some people, they cannot work to the office because the office is closed, but they cannot work at home because maybe they cannot concentrate. So they would like to find a place where they can work peacefully, private, but also secure, and has international elevated clean protocols. So this is what we come up with, and again, we work together with food and beverage department and other departments and banquet, and think about what can we give to the customer, what they look for at the moment. So this is also actually part of ISG global campaign, like work in an exclusive office. Next.
I'm sorry, Ibu Marlin, you still have 3 more minutes.
3, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
this is very quick.
Thank
this
you.
is, I think, going to be end. Okay, work with influencer. This is maybe some of you, maybe all of you know, this is Mr. Arman Maulana. So work with influencer, promote your place, and to their followings, and let people know that we are still here, we are still open, and we have this elevated protocols in place. Next. So these are the means of communications that you can use, right? That you can use to bring the message across to the company, to everybody. So everybody don't miss anything, and don't miss out. Don't miss anybody. So you have email, you have WhatsApp, you have WebEx, Google Meet, you have TikTok. I'm sure maybe some of you is a TikTok champion. You have Zoom like we have now. So there's a lot of means of communication where you can distribute the message of the company, whether it's the achievement, whether it's the packages, everything that you do or the company has achieved to the employees. Next. So these are the sources of my slides today. So yes, thank you. Next, please. Pak Fahrul, can we go next? This is just my cartoon. And can we go back one? Sorry. Can we go back one before the video? So if you like to keep in touch with me, please, you can send me email or connect in social media. Can we go next, Pak Fahrul? Okay, talking about asking the right questions. So this is also part of the initiatives that we do with other departments. We talk with wedding departments and working with 50 wedding vendors and making a film, a movie, a wedding simulations, akad nikah in the new normal. What's the procedure and what to do so the customer will feel safe and confident to have their akad nikah. Okay, Pak, silakan. Thank you. Can we switch there? Yeah, thank you.
Pernikahan adalah keindahan, dan keindahan adalah bagian yang tak terpisahkan dari sebuah pernikahan. Kami sadar Anda memiliki impian akan sebuah pernikahan, dan kami siap mewujudkannya. Kami menggambarkan pesta pernikahan tetaplah sebagai sebuah kebahagiaan, sukacita, dan menjadi kenangan tak terlupakan. Jadi, mengapa Anda masih ragu? Keadaan saat ini justru membuat kami menjadi lebih kreatif dan inovatif. Kita bukan berbicara mengenai kuantitas, tetapi kualitas dari sebuah pernikahan. Karena pernikahan yang berkualitas akan membuat semua yang hadir benar-benar merasa spesial. Karena mereka feeling good. It's all waiting for us. Every time you live in color. A story in the making, at the start of something. Later there we could uncover, holding on to all this wonder. A story in the making, the world is ours for the taking.
Kami berdua mengucapkan terima kasih atas hadirnya keluarga dan sahabat-sahabat kami. Alhamdulillah acara berjalan dengan lancar. Acara akad nikah kami berkesan dengan indah, dengan orang-orang terdekat kami yang membuat acara ini semakin spesial. Ini di luar bayangan kami sebelumnya. Kami ucapkan terima kasih.
Okay, thank you Ibu Marlin for the presentation. And now for the third speaker, we have Ibu Natalia Widiasari. Ibu Natalia Widiasari is an assistant professor at School of Communication at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia. She's a doctoral candidate of College of Mass Communication, University of the Philippines, Diliman. Her publications and research interests are in identity, branding, and corporate social responsibility. Today, Ibu Natalia Widiasari will present about developing youth, preparing visionary human resource. Without further ado, I welcome Ibu Natalia Widiasari.
Hello. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I hope I can be heard. Hello. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Selamat siang. It is an honor to be in the panel with distinguished speakers, Prof. Bala Krishnan Parasuraman, Mamar Linda Nusutejo, Miss Raisa Gloria Manarisip, Miss Emanuela Reika, Miss Louise Daniel, and Mr. Daniel Syahreza, and my dear colleague, Miss L. Krisnatalia. I would like also to express my gratitude to our Dean, Bapak Eko Widodo, our Department Chair, Ibu Dorin Kartikawangi, Bapak Agung Laksmana, Chief of Perhumas, and all colleagues involved in this collaboration for giving me the opportunity. My share of thought today is titled Developing Youth, Preparing Visionary Human Resources. Next, please. As the springboard to the discussion, I'd like to ask whether we know what the kind of situation do we face now. In the communication, we know cognitive distortion so well, so exposure do not ensure awareness and knowledge. It triggers the question, do we really grasp the reality we are facing now? And further, I'd like to probe on how do we posit technology in the working environment. It is a common knowledge that technology makes things efficient and easier. As for now, we experience cross-border discussion only from our comfortable desk at home. Next, please. To answer the previous question, this is an inconvenient truth that we should know to prepare the youth. Based on International Labor Organization data, youth unemployment is 3 times higher than the adult unemployment rate. Youth unemployment rate is number of unemployed of 15 to 24 years old expressed as percentage of the youth labor force. And about 45% of young people today, or nearly 621 million, are not in employment. Unemployed people are those who report that they are without work, that they are available for work, and have taken active steps to find work in the last 4 weeks. And creating quality jobs for young women and men entering the labor market is a critical towards wealthier economies, fairer societies, and stronger democracy. The opportunities that are being created for young people today lay the foundation for what economies will be able to achieve tomorrow. It is through employment that young people can realize their aspiration, improve their living condition, and fulfill their responsibilities, not only as productive agents, but also as citizens. And in turn, employment for young people makes economy stronger. Young people become active consumers, saver, and taxpayer. Companies benefit from the productive and motivated youth workforce, and ultimately, the positive impact of youth employment spills over society at large by contributing to sharing wealth across generations and also reducing costs related to social problems. Next, please. ADB and ILO also stated that lockdown measure in response to COVID-19 has resulted in unprecedented reduction in hours work, which affect workers of all ages. Youth are more likely to experience outright job loss than temporary job suspension. Because youth lower job tenure, organizations are likely to make less of an effort to retain them on the payroll during lockdown periods. And Indonesia reported that in country unemployment rate could hit its highest in more than a decade, rising to 9.2% or by the end of the year. Next, please. The figure here is the youth unemployment from 1999 to 2020 from the Statista, and the youth unemployment by ILO is from 2010 until 2020, and by 2019 is at 17.63%. Next, please. To be fair, let us look into the graph based on education background. These three figures include all employment, not only youth. The first one is unemployment with basic education. Basic education defines as primary education and lower secondary education. It is at 2.39% by end of 2019. The second is unemployment with intermediate education, that is 4.38%. Intermediate education refers to upper secondary education and post non-tertiary education. The third is unemployment with advanced education at 4.38%. Advanced education includes short cycle tertiary education, bachelor, master, and doctoral level. The number could be interpreted that the available job opportunities are at lower qualification that do not fit people with intermediate and advanced education. And it is a common sense that employment is directly related to factors beyond income alone. For example, it's also related to identity and other social cohesion. Next, please. The second situation is the pandemic. It has been like 8 months already, and we see how much the digitalization transformed our daily life. The pandemic is indeed the automation catalyst, and I am sure all of us intensively using mobile banking, online shopping, online learning, and many other things that are done online from our comfortable couch at home. And these flexible and comfortable processes also bring another issue to our plate. It is diminishing jobs that related to higher efficiency and extensive usage of digitalization. Next, please. And the working paper of Bureau for Employers Activities in 2016 have already described the jobs that have risk to diminish facing digitalization. In Indonesia, we watch clerical jobs are replaced by AI, artificial intelligence, and automations. It is obvious for the officer at banking sector, and the next job have the risk to be replaced is primary and secondary teaching professional. It all has been started. We can observe it on how Ruang Guru becomes more popular, and maybe this is for Prof. Bara. Ruang Guru is learning application that used by students from the primary and secondary education. Next, please. Thus, how the youth, not this one, next please, forward. Yes. Thus, how the youth facing this? It is said in one report that young people aged 15 to 24 represent almost 1/4 of the total number of individuals using the internet worldwide. In 2017, 70.6% of the global youth population were online. Young people are early adopters of ICT-based technologies and can drive growth and innovation in the sector. Yet, the majority of young people do not possess job-relevant digital skill. And we see also trend of online risky behavior among youth, includes sharing personal information to online acquaintance, or as simple as location sharing is a risky behavior. However, youth should put attention to upgrade and reskilling regardless whatever advanced education they have. I propose the digital skill as essential. We can adopt as any level that we need it. Here, basic digital skills are generic ICT skills required for nearly all jobs. They include web research, online communication, use of professional online platforms, and digital finance service. Mid-level digital skill includes digital graphic designs and marketing, desktop publishing, and social media management, both for job and entrepreneurship opportunities. Soft skills are skills necessarily for effective collaboration in digital economy. It includes teamwork, leadership, communication, client focus, and many other things that we or youth could sharpen. Digital entrepreneurship refers to digital skill required by the entrepreneurs, including online market research, strategic planning, and business analysis, and the use of crowdfunding platforms. Next, please. Yes. Talking about technology, we feel that we are surrounded by technology, and at some point, it is unbearable. Maybe we like to mute and turn off the notification features because we feel that technology is like a wave that gulps us down. However, we must keep in mind that and recall it in our daily life that human agency is an essential thing. Without human ability to do and achieve, technology cannot work properly. Sami Marum writes at Jakarta Post at April 2020, when the crisis erupted, government did not rush to finance automation in order to reopen factories without human workers. Instead, they focus on getting money into people's pocket and enabling them to continue exercising their agency. It is time to take this approach further. We should not sharpen the feud between human and machine, but we must cherish the reality of machine for man framework. Focus on leveraging technological progress to enhance human agency, and thus the demand that fuels an economy. With this in mind, we will continue creating technologies as asserted by social construction of technology that human action shapes technology. It is the vernacular of people in daily life that drive and define technology. Like the social media that we have, at the beginning, it's primarily for connecting people. But now, it more and more become a marketplace because the user wants to transact there. Next, please. With the situation that we face and opportunities that we have, it is true that youth will face challenges. However, I believe youth have their DNA for multitasking and reskilling. Youth are also thirst for achievement to fulfill their dreams and goals in life. So there will always be an open door after another door is closed. And how to deal with the new open door are inevitably through digital skills and soft skills. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Natalia Widiasari. And again, kind reminder for the participant, you can write down your question in the chat room with the format name, institution, and then your question. And I will read the question. And the best 3 questioners will get eco straws from the Intercontinental Jakarta. Okay, next, we will hear the perspective and experiences of young generations, what they say about the development of digital technology and the new ways in working. Today we have 4 representatives of generation or the Gen Z. We have Raisa Gloria Manarisip, the alumni of School of Communication at Atmajaya Catholic University 2012. Emanuela Reika, the alumni of School of Communication at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia 2014. And Luis Daniel, School of Communication student at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia, batch 2017. And also Daniel Shahreza, School of Communication student at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia, batch 2018. All of you are also welcome to introduce yourself. So please, the time is yours.
I think I'll start first and I'll introduce myself first. Hi, my name is Daniel Shareza. Normally, people call me Danny. I'm like Miss L said, I'm a student at Atmajaya Catholic University. I'm in my 5th semester, and I do content on social media, like on YouTube and also TikTok. I think, right. I mean, I don't really. So basically, my PowerPoint is very short and simple. So today, I'm just going to show you my perspective and how I kind of incorporate the soft skills and hard skills and all of the human resources for what I do, at least. Next slide, please. All right. So here are basically some of the main skills that I try to hone for what I do, because I do like to make content. I like to make, honestly, my content are just for fun, to be honest. So I try to be as fun, but also as entertaining as I can. Of course, during this pandemic, technology and digital is what we rely on, especially now that we are trying to minimize physical contact with other people. So I understand that everything now we rely on the digital and technology, and aside from that, I feel like because the way we're living, the way we're using technology is changing. Of course, there are certain skills that are going to be more needed compared to others. So, for example, here, since what I do is like online content and stuff, I try to focus I try to like improve my creativity and also originality skills, because I want to make sure the content that I make is different and also original, so that people are interested and not seeing the same thing. And even aside from that, the next one, it would be innovation. If I were to be inspired by a certain topic or a certain, let's say, a certain topic, how can I change it, or how can I make it my own, but with the same idea? So I feel like innovation is so important, especially with digital, with people using social media more, people using the internet more, people are diving into the world of social media, especially now there are more different types of social media. For example, like TikTok right now, especially during quarantine, has become one of the most popular applications out there. Like I think it's a little bit higher than Instagram now, to be honest. And aside from that, adaptability, I think it's very important, especially now. Like I said, during the quarantine, of course, there are some things that we have to change and we have to adapt so that we can still continue what we do. But for me personally, because originally I do content at home anyways, so I didn't have to adapt that much. I feel like I've already been using social media since I was maybe in middle school. I feel like that's the different thing between my generation, is that we were influenced and we have already been introduced to the internet at such a young age, so that when we grow up, it's quite easy for us to adapt to certain technology changes and stuff. And then leadership and social influence, I would say, I want to say I'm more of a leader, because when it comes to like content and stuff, I do my own thing. So I'm my own boss, if you can say. And also, but at the same time, I try to make sure what I do or what I publish online has at least a good impact towards other person or other people, because I think everybody knows what you put on the internet will always stay in the internet. So which is why I feel like if you're someone or a public figure or have a huge social media following, it's important to think how your content can influence people. And so I try my best to post positive content in the sense that either it makes you laugh, either you are entertained by it, or either it could actually help you learn something. And then the next one would be probably critical thinking and analyzing. Here, so when it comes to critical thinking, I feel like just because we are using the internet, right? So I feel like it's important to know which part is good and which part is bad, because everybody can have fully access when it comes to social media and internet. So I think it's important for us to always have our critical thinking to know what information we should be taking, what information is good and bad, and analyze it and see how it could benefit us and also other people. And last but not least, confidence. I feel like it's one of the most basic skills I feel like everybody know by now, especially for me. I do, like I said, I make videos, social media. So I feel like being confident in what I do, being confident at what I post has an impression at other people, because when you're confident, people are more attracted to hear what you have to say or to hear what you have to put out, because they'll believe you. If you believe in yourself, people are most likely to believe with you too. And I feel like when it comes to Gen Z, like I said, we are much more exposed to the internet compared to maybe other generations. Like I said, we have been exposed at such a young age. I remember when I was in 5th grade, I already had a phone, and I already had a Twitter account. I have Facebook and stuff at 5th grade. And I feel like that's quite a young age to already have a social media. And then I guess that's the one main thing Gen Z has an advantage is that they can adapt to changes, a situation, when especially during Corona right now. And I feel that's how I view Gen Z during this pandemic, or during how we use skills to help us during this type of time. I think that's it, KL.
Okay, thank you, Danny. And now let's hear the perspective from Raisa Gloria. Okay, please, Raisa Gloria, the time is yours. I'm sorry, I think you still mute yours.
Okay, my bad. Okay, once again, can I repeat it again? Good afternoon, Professor Bala. Good afternoon, Pak Eko Widodo, Ibu Dorin, Ibu Marlin, Ibu Natalia, Ibu Elkris, all of the senior public relations, the wonderful speakers, and all of my friends. I would like to share about 3 things: the innovative, adaptive, and collaborative from my point of view, my experience as a cabin crew of Singapore Airlines. Yes, Karina, thank you. So basically what is happening right now, nobody is flying right because of COVID-19. And every airline in the world agree that today is the biggest crisis in the aviation industry. Everyone is agree. Like for example, but all of the airline with the operator a wide-body aircraft affected greatly, especially Singapore Airlines, Emirates, and etc. And if you want to compare it, based on the research, Garuda Indonesia lost about 56% of their passengers, but Singapore Airlines lost 98% of their passengers because all of the country they rely on close their border, right? So it comes down to the next slide, please. Yes, so the Straits Times is basically a really reputable newspaper in Singapore. They made a research and it came out that, wow, 75 people Singaporean willing to pay more just to do the flight to nowhere. And what is flight to nowhere, if you ask me? A flight to nowhere is a concept where you depart and then you arrive in the same airport. So you're basically not going anywhere. And people still willing to pay that just to experience the joy of flying again. And who did it first? The Qantas Airlines in Australia. And if you ask people, is it a great success? Yes, they make a lot of money out of that. Qantas Airlines sold the tickets, sold out in just 30 minutes. But they got a lot of bad press and bad reputations. Why exactly that? Because a lot of people that love the environmental said that,
why are you flying the airplane out of nowhere without a reason? So they really get a really bad critics. And in Singapore Airlines, they are basically the flag carrier and also the brand of Singapore. So what Singapore Airlines do is basically represent what Singapore will do. And they made a headline in here in all of the newspaper. Should we save Singapore Airlines just because they have lost a lot of money? And to the next slide. Singapore Airlines said, okay, we will do the flight to nowhere, and then they said it in the media and all. And because of all of the critics, they cancel it at the last minute. So instead of making a flight to nowhere a tactic, they changed the A380 aircraft, the grounded aircraft in the Changi airport, and make it into a restaurant. It's really fun because the tickets sold out in 90 minutes. And also for the first time in history, SIA Group opened up their training center and make it public, like a museum concept. And the best thing that I think one of the greatest innovation is all of the first class meals on board, they activate it and open it to sell it online. Like you can grab food and also go with all of the first class meals. That's really crazy, right? And I think what's really important here is they did not hurt their strong reputations, but they still want to make a program that make the airline survive in this time of crisis. And just like what Ibu Marlene said, that you need to know what your brand stands for. And for Singapore Airlines, they stand for caring, they stand for customer focus. So they hear everything what's going on in the world and they represent it in a more a good program. Also next. Yes, so if you're working as a cabin crew, you have two duties on board, the service and also the security duties. It's like you have two phases while you are on board. For example, if I'm on my service duty, I will say, excuse me, sir, would you mind to open up the window for me? But if you're using the security duties, if you're in a security duties, and it happens when you're on takeoff and then you're on landing, you're on emergency situation, you need to be firm. You need to be the police in the aircraft. So I could say, sir, I need you to open up the window for me. You see the difference, the body language and also the tone. If you're in the service industry, you need to, like what? If I'm on my service duty, I will lower my body and make my eye level the same with my passengers. And if I'm on a security mode, I will stand tall and I will say, okay, I'm the leader in this aircraft. I could say anything to you. That's basically what the adaptive is. And based on my work, it comes down to a good situational awareness. And technology really help us to personalize every service. It helps us a lot. Like for example, people that on board of the aircraft, sometimes they are the VIP. They have a special needs. They have kids traveling with no parents, and also they are elderly. They have certain needs that we need to like we need to greet them separately in terms of the needs. But because of technology, I know everything of their needs before they on board of the aircraft. Like for example, if Bu Dorin on board of the Singapore Airlines, and she had a history of traveling with us, I would know what kind of food that Bu Dorin would love. I would know if she had an allergy or something. You see, the technology, everything, all of the passenger information, they put it in the best device on the aircraft. So I would know and I will use it, all of the information, and use it wisely to exit the service and make a good decision. And for the last thing, the collaborative, based on my experience, cabin crew is a dynamic work. Like every single flight, you work with the 25 new people, and every single flight is a new people. So you need to put on your best persona on board. You need to make everything, every people that you meet, a good teamwork. And if you're talking about Asian airlines, like for example, Singapore Airlines, Garuda Indonesia, the seniority is there. It's not a gossip. It's not about all the stories on the website. It's there. So what we came up with the how we help the seniority in terms of our collaborative. If you look Google the collaborative in the Google, it said that how you express your opinion and then your emotion to make an agreement, right? But in this terms of service industry and especially working in the Asian airlines, you need to express your opinion and also your emotion and without hurting someone else's ego. So if you want to criticize someone, you need to say it nicely. Even if your senior is wrong, you need to say it nicely and not step on their foot. That's what I learned in the training days. So basically, working in the service industry, you need to have an empathetic listening. A good communication skill will help you a lot. Use a professional language and also a tactful communications, because at the end of the day, I think a good excellent service is come with the good communication skill of the people and also the teamwork. So you can separate, if you use the innovative, adaptive, and also the collaborative, you're not being a good cabin crew or also a good employee, but you make a great employee. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Raisa Gloria. And next, let's hear from Emanuela Reika. Okay.
Hello, thank you, Kyle. Okay, thank you, everyone, all the seniors, the lecturers, all the crew, and of course the audiences. Thank you for having me. I'm a little bit different from what Danny told about influencer, or Raisa talk about corporate company, but today I'll talk about more about startup. So first, let me do a share screen for a moment. Okay, I hope you can see it fine. Okay. All right. Okay, so for today's topic, innovative, adaptive, collaborative. I'll talk about this later at the end. So today, little introduction about myself. My name is Emanuela Reika. You can call me Reika. Today, I'm a senior partnership and event specialist at Nusa Talent. So before, I was an alumni from Atma Jakarta University, batch 2014. So after I graduate and I follow Nusa Talent, I worked there for this from 2018 and until today. So I know maybe some of you, or probably most of you, doesn't know what is Nusa Talent is. So Nusa Talent is a startup. It was found 2018 on November. So actually this month we have our second anniversary. And Nusa Talent itself is a job platform. So maybe for you who are looking for a job, either it's a full-time job, internship, or freelance, because there's also a lot of missions you can actually do, and then it will give you commissions as well. So please check it out if you feel the need to. So in this job platform company, or it's based on technology and human resources. What I do, or my job desk, is a partnership. So before first time when I joined here, I was a partnership, and the job desk itself is to partner or to collab universities all over Indonesia with Nusa Talent, because Nusa Talent itself is a job platform which is specialized for fresh graduates. So if you're fresh graduates, maybe you're also an alumni, and then you're looking for a job who actually meets the requirements as a fresh graduate, maybe you can look up at Nusa Talent. So Nusa Talent itself, in 2018, the business team, there's only 5 members, including myself. But today we grow for these 2 years. Now we have almost 40 employees here. So I follow the growth from this past 2 years. And I actually learned so much. That's if you have the same passion, the same need to learn more, to explore from the very first start of building a company and how it grows, maybe startup company is the one that suits you. Okay, right. So before Nusatel itself, my job desk, besides from just collaborating how universities and Nusatel itself, I also give webinars, seminars to students to prepare them to face work life, because you know, most students just they just graduate and they have really little knowledge about what are they going to face in the work life. So what I usually talk about is how to make a efficient CV, or how to conduct interview, how to build your personal branding towards human resources. So I usually tell a few facts and also the steps, the tips and tricks of recruitment itself. But from this information or statics here, what I want to stress is this, the fourth one, the HR. They will actually do research of your background in their social media. So if you're in this position for looking for a job, and then you apply in every platform, let's say, all the HR who are actually interested in you, they'll actually have a background check, or they just want to know you, or let's say in this today's word is like stalking you on Instagram. So you have to be prepared to look on your Instagram, your Facebook, LinkedIn. It needs a professional branding for yourself. So that's why I usually encourage everyone to create a professional brand on ourselves, on our social media. Yep. And so talking about job seekers, if you are actually job seekers, there are 5 points that I really want to stress here. First is personality. So these are the kits, let's say, when you are a job seeker, that these are the things that you really need to have. So first, for personality, usually HR are looking for a person who have empath, confidence, who are humble and agile. These are usually what human resources said what they need from job seekers, or the talents. And the second one is experience. Of course, the experience need to fit what they need, the company itself. So the experience itself is educational background. If you actually have more or less the basic knowledge of it, or maybe your work experience, maybe you graduate as a communication student, but then you joined a company that psychology related. That it's still okay if you actually have the work experience, that they will consider it. And then the third point is skill. Here I want to difference skill based on soft skill and hard skill. So usually it's soft skill. What kind of soft skill do they need? Do job seekers, alumni, or fresh graduate needs? Usually like tech savvy, problem solving, critical thinking, communication. These are the general skill that everybody needs to have. And then of course the hard skill, usually how to use Microsoft Office such as Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and so on, and also how to actually use G Suite, like G Drive, Google Photos, and everything Google related like mails and all. And if you have actually it also depends on the company itself, like because they usually require basic skills of certain position. But here I just want to say about the general things that a job seeker should have aside from the other skills or particular skills. Okay, and then the fourth point is connection. This is really important because like my experience, I'm the first alumni from Jakarta University who joined in Nusa Talent. When I first joined there, they trusted me with my work, with my skill, my performance, and also my relation. So when I suggested my friends to also work at the Nusa Talent, they trust me, and then they actually consider as Atmajaya's alumni is capable of working here. So I'm opening the door for the other alumni at Atmajaya to work at Nusa Talent as well. So this is why you really need to have a connection. So maybe if you're a student today and then you have alumni who's working in a company that maybe you want to join them, or you have a relationship with your family, in like your uncles or aunts who are working in a company and then you want to work there as well, they can actually refer you. So that's why the connection is really important. And then the last point here is information. Yes, I usually say information equals to opportunity. The more information you have, the more opportunity you also have. So today here I'm giving you more information that I hope you can actually use this information to develop yourself, your knowledge, and maybe connection as well, like that. Okay. So to conclude, for a startup company, you do need these 3 points to be innovative, adaptive, and collaborative, of course. Because in a startup world, in a startup life, we actually need to be innovative. The work life in a startup, the pace is very, very fast. So you need to have more ideas, more problem solving every day, every week, just to compete with the competitors. You cannot just stay, let it like that, just like steady, because then you won't develop. That's why we need to have more innovation every day to actually help the company grow. And then the second one is adaptive, because again, it's a fast-paced company. You need to adapt to the pace itself, and you cannot just let yourself be dragged to it. You're the one who needs to give the improvement, make an improvement every day. That's why you have to be adapt to this kind of situation and environment. And the third one, you really need to be collaborative as well, especially this situation, this moment, the pandemic situation. You need to collaborate because we cannot stand alone. Like what I also do, I collaborate with student ambassadors or campus agents, and also with other companies to make a webinar together and so on. So we can both grow as long as it meets our needs. So that's why collaborative is also very, very important, because everyone have their needs, and to collaborate is like to give what we have to them, so they can also give what we need. So that's all the things that I need to share. Maybe we can talk more and connect professionally in Instagram or LinkedIn. Feel free. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Emanuela Rika. And let's hear the last one, the perspective from Luis Daniel. Okay. So please, yeah, Luis Daniel.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor for me to meet you all here. Let me introduce you myself first. I'm Luis Daniel. I'm from School of Communication at Atmajaya Catholic University of Indonesia. I'm in my 7th semester majoring in corporate communication. So when we talk about human resource, first thing that comes to our mind is that what kind of skill that people can do. So skills are things that must be owned by everyone and must be trained continuously. So I own a street food business since 2019. So a part of being an owner, I also in charge of human resource division. So based on my experience in managing human resource, I found a lot of interesting things that are very dynamic. Why I said that this is very dynamic? It's because of employee of or human resource are constantly changing from time to time. So the environment that I mean is that where they live, the economic status or circle of social life, and many more. So in food and beverage business, There's a lot of divisions such as human resource, cook, kitchen, processing, finance, marketing, and many more. So we want to make it all work perfectly. So the key is to make a good system of workflow and an effective communication. We teach them, we communicate. We educate them, we communicate. So when we evaluate their job, we communicate. So the communication is so fundamental here. So things can go wrong when the communication is bad. From the first month to third month, they usually adapt with the new corporate procedure and the corporate value. So in this first phase, the key to build a good team of human resource is make a good standard operational procedure and repeat it over and over again. So the communication play an important role in this phase. So communication must effective and efficient, which allows our message to be embedded in their mind. So after 3 months, they will do their habits and start that started since they work from the beginning their work for us. So we must evaluate bad habits and start to emphasize the important work value to them. So there is so many ways to communicate with the employee. Each employee has a different understanding, so we can generate all the employee. There are people who need motivation. There are people who need threats of punishment. There are also people who need a gentle reprimands. So the way we communicate determine their performance and their loyalty to us. Not only that, so when we get through those phase, the next level of managing human resource is to train them to have more responsibility on their respective division. So it's good to do that in order to increase job discipline. So next, give them more challenges to developing a better workflow. So these challenges can increase their ability to innovate, problem solving, leadership, creativity, and many aspects. So communication is also equally important in this process, requiring a good communication ability because not all human resources are equal. Some people quick to understand and some people take a long time. In this teaching process, we must be careful with our language. Sometimes we say things that we don't mind, isn't it? So my main concern in managing human resource is I don't want to just come to work and then earn some money, salary, and done. No, I want them to have experience, insight, and learning that useful in the future, even though they don't work for us, work for me anymore. So I realized that in order to elevate teamwork in a food and beverage business, organizational communication becomes a needs, to lead me how I communicate or how I make a plan to make this thing more effective. Because I know without a good teamwork, without any good employees, a business doesn't work the way it should. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Luis Daniel, for your share. And now it's time for discussion session. And I will read your question in the chat room. Here we have the first questions from Mercy Ain from Unikat Majaya. Are there any industries that couldn't be digitalized? What could they do to keep up or adapt with this current situation? So please, I invite all of the speakers here, Prof. Bala, Ibu Marlin, Ibu Natalia.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, the questions is, are there any industries that couldn't be digitalized? What could they do to keep up or adapt with this current situation?
Oh, okay. Can I answer?
Yes, please.
I take a few minutes. Okay, thank you for the question. I think there are not every business going to be digitalized. Okay, some of the business are still they operate in the manual, all depending on the I would like to share here is my research have been done on the micro. Micro is actually not ready to adapt the 4.0 IR. They're still using manpower. Okay, manually. They run them manually. I asked around a lot of micro industry, and they say they are not ready to, because it need a lot of investment, to do business. But again, along this line, maybe with the COVID-19, the business must be changed, in terms of landscape. Just now, one of the few alumni, they're sharing. I'm very impressed with all of them, and they have a good command on communication skills. And congratulate to the alumni from Atmajaya. You created a good graduate. So they are keep on telling that there will be communication, public relation. Of course, in the past more on the manually, but now more digitalized. So certain business like food industry, yes, they can go totally on the digitalized. Maybe the printing, maybe the teaching, like the tuition. Those days tuition teach only go home to home. They make money, but now they can do at home. They can make a lot of money. Actually, there's also another income, big income. They can make money if they stay home. So again, but maybe next 5 years or 10 years, they have to adapt themselves. All depending on the government policy. You see, the government need to support this micro and small industry because they are not capable to invest in terms of the money. But they got good product. Actually, like example, Natalia, I like to share. Your country have all the best food that you can promote to the other country in the world. So, but you need to invest on the IT and so on lah. I need to help support this small group. So that's my first impression lah with this question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Natalia. Maybe you want to answer the question.
Okay, wait, sorry. Yes, thank you. I think we have to clarify first to what extent the digitalized, because I think in this COVID case, many small and medium enterprise they run manually for the operation, but when it turns to the marketing, how they sell their product, they have no choice. They have to tap into the WhatsApp group. They have to tap into the marketplace to make the transaction, to have the traffic. So maybe the question could be clarified first into what extent it mean by digital, not being without digitalized. Because the operation, I think many small and medium enterprise, they still have it manually, but when it comes to the marketing or supplies chain, it gone through the digitalized. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Natalia. Maybe we can continue to next questions. I think this question is for Ibu Marlin. Yeah, it's from Gumelina Yusliani and Elizabeth Destin from Unikat Majaya. As we know, the situation on this pandemic forced us to do a lot of things based on health protocol. I saw your video earlier about akad nikah, and I want to ask you, what protocol do you people have to follow if they want to arrange akad nikah on hotel? And are there any consequences if they break the protocol? And from Elizabeth Destiny, how to convince people that hotel is a safe place to work or just staying in? As we know, a lot of people feel anxious to go to the mall because it has central air conditioner system, so the air circulation is not very good. Same goes with the hotel. It doesn't have a lot of window, therefore the air is not circulated properly. Please, Ibu Marlin.
Thank you, Miss L. So if I may address the previous question as well about the digitalization. Perhaps in hospitality industry, I would like to commend the presentation earlier from one of the speakers about the initiatives they do with SIA, with Singapore Airlines. So in his hospitality industry or service industry, there are some key factors that I'm afraid we still need a human touch. For example, that now we have a machine that can produce press release, a robot, and we have also this humanless hotel somewhere in in Europe, or that you don't see an officer there. You come to the hotel, you use your card, you tap here, tap there, and there's nobody there. So maybe in some areas it's all great to have this new technology and moving on. But like for example in hotel business, according to the regulation, also per government regulation, and the recommendation from the World Health Organization, some of the services we can digitalize, like reservation, right? You can do it from your website, or if you come to the restaurant, you can scan the menu from your phone via a barcode, so you don't have to touch the menu. But then again, for some key areas like the service, the smile, person, I think that still needs human, still need you still need people to do those in these areas. So that was that, and maybe I can, if I can answer all together the next questions. Thank you for the very good questions. So for the Akatika, for example, we really follow the government regulations per Akatika, as in there is a quota, there's a limit, there's a restriction capacity of how many people can attend akad nikah, right? So that's number one, and we also have this option of outdoor facilities. So if you see the video before, the akad nikah was actually held outdoor in one of our terraces. So when you have the time, please visit us, come to Intercontinental Pondok Indah. I would love to show you around. And of course, for the health protocols globally, our company has launched also what we call is Clean Promise. So we have elevated clean protocols in all areas in the hotel, where everybody is like, for example, the officers, the hotel, the employees, we wear gloves, masks, and face shield. I'm here in a private room by myself, so, and I take off my mask, but actually I have my face shield here available, and my mask also. So that's for the preventive, and also we do we clean the room, disinfect with hospital grade cleaning system, and we also disinfect the meeting rooms periodically. There are these steps that we do accordingly from all areas, from front office, from housekeeping, from banqueting and restaurants, and the entire part of the hotel. So how do we communicate that to the guests? For example, the video that we did before, there are actually two versions. We have that, and the other one we have is from the back area. So from the perspective of a future guest, like for example, your good self, if you want to plan a wedding or an event in here, you can see from the back area perspective how the wedding vendor, for example, comes into the hotel, and what checklist they have to fulfill, the checking points before they enter the hotel, the how do we disinfect the equipment, and etc. Also, front of the house, in front area, in public area, guest area, we also have these protocols that we adhere to. Like for example, you will be checked your temperature when you enter the hotel. For if you are below 37 and below and above, then I'm afraid you may not be able to enter the hotel. And then also we have clean signages everywhere, reminding people, the guests, to wear masks all the time, and except when you're eating or you're dining. And also we have this clean campaign distributed across the board in all our promotion channels, in our website, in our social media, in our pre-arrival. When you book the hotel, and you have a reserve, you book a hotel in book a room in the hotel, and then we will send you confirmation. Now prior to your stay, you will receive this confirmation from our hotel that stated, what protocols or heightened clean or health protocols that we do to make you feel confidence to come to the hotel or hold your meetings and or just simply dining with your family. I hope that answers the questions. Later on, feel free to contact, communicate further.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Marlin.
Thank you.
Okay, now next I will read several questions at once, due to the time. The questions is now the first one from Melinda Deviana from Unika Atmajaya. As young people, what other skills should we prepare in the world of work, especially after the pandemic ends? And the second question is from Julia Pareira from Unika Atmajaya. How to deal with creative block, especially in this pandemic? Because to be honest, it's so hard to be creative during this pandemic. And the third question is from Rosalind Ayuning-Tias from Unika Atmajaya. Human resources need to be collaborative for the challenges of the future. So I want to ask about how is the best and most effective collaboration for this situation in this pandemic and for the future in the new normal. Thank you. I welcome all of the speakers. Maybe you can answer the 3 questions.
Okay, can I start first?
Okay, yes, please.
Okay, thanks, Talia. All right, I think these 3 questions you can combine to the skill. Okay, what are the skills they need in the future, especially the youth? And I think this question comes from the young graduate, I think. All right, okay, maybe I go to the last question, the collaborative between HR. All right, as you know that human resource is key in any organization, especially looking at the pandemic. Look at the pandemic now. Actually, the HR manager must advise the right advice to the CEO, whether they want to retrench people or what. But if they are giving wrong information, then it will be. So collaboration, I think from now, I told my students, actually my students just, they're all working from home. What I say that, can you start the digital business from now? Don't wait until the end of the year you're going to graduate. It's too late. So now I said you're studying marketing, you're studying entrepreneurship, you're studying HR, you're studying this, all these subjects you combine together, then you start thinking of any digital business. There's a lot of good digital business outside there. So we can bring the industry to the campus where they can freely train the student in terms of digital marketing, at the same time communication. So that means they can start doing business now onward. Of course, the business must legal, must approved by the authority of the university and must be signed proper MOU with the industry. So an industry said, we are willing to help to this young graduate. So I believe that when they start first year, I declare them, I'm not telling them student, you are junior executive. So I changed the paradigm on their side. So how HR will really help actually collaboration between industry and the university. That is really needed at this moment. Okay, what is skill? Of course, the young graduate, they need a very creative and innovative. When you do assignment, let's say I ask student go do assignment, all right? What kind of assignment you want to do? You have to choose the right topic to get job for you. So far, what I did in my previous 25 years, when I supervise any project, I tell them what is you're going to be in job. Of course, you're from HR, because I'm teaching HR. My student also specialized in HR in the previous university in Sabah. So when they do a project, final year project, they will do exactly what industry want. So after they completed the project, they already have network with the industry. And industry take them immediately, because you know why? They understand what they learned in the class and what's happening in industry. So to me, like this, when the young people supposed to be more mobile, more creative, they cannot depending to lecturers. You see, what do you mean lecturer? Lecture means we are just supervising. You should come up with a new idea and come and tell us. So these are the things that I really wanted to see young people to move around. And because you see, some of them start using mobile from a young age. You know, the one just now, Daniel, I don't know, Daniel, what they said, when how many, maybe 10 years old, the parents give them mobile. But look at them, he's stuck in startup business. So to me is they are must understand the pandemic, don't give a reason pandemic, but use the pandemic as a positive move and they start thinking how to create job. So my advice to the young generation, you can be millionaire. You can start on it. A lot of my students become millionaire today because they learn HR, but they end up with the entrepreneur. They are in the insurance business. They are running their own college. They're running their own business. Why they can do that? Because the HR knowledge give them a lot new opening for that. This is happening before, but today even faster. So that's what I think that is collaboration between industry and then also between the university must go more actively. Don't just learn theory, but put application immediately. So that's my personal advice, Natalia, to that.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Bala. Maybe from Ibu Marlin or Ibu Natalia,
Okay.
please.
Okay, I will try to answer. Okay, maybe what skill we need after the pandemic? I think we have to start with what we have. So I believe people have their own callings, have their own talent. So the youth have to look into their self first, try to identify what the best they have, and start from there. And if you don't have idea what to do, because the lockdown situation, unable you are unable to look for creative content, you just window shopping in Instagram, in YouTube. You can see most anything, people do anything. You just window shop and then try to figure out what you really have. And for the collaborative, I think people have their own talent, and you can just collapse with your friends, with your sisters, with your brother. Try to make something refresh, small but refreshing, and later on, you just take one step in a time, and then after the pandemic, you already have, like, if you put one content a day or two, one content every 2 days, after the pandemic, maybe you have many contents already. So I think the first step is you have to know your own ability first. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Natalia. Ibu Marlin, maybe you want to answer.
Yes, for sure. Perhaps you also would like to see from your soft skill side, like effective communication, be adaptability, be flexible, like flexibility, because the world is now so fluid. Anything can change. We don't know what happens in the next 5 minutes. Always look out for what's new out there. Always be in the know and aim higher, because one of my good friends used to say, if you aim a mountain, you will most likely hit a hill. But if you aim the hill, then maybe you will hit the asphalt. So maybe those are the areas also you want to look at. And don't forget, I also find a very interesting presentation from the previous speaker, I think Miss Reika, yeah, about how people send their CVs or resumes. Remember, the most interesting looking, or very neat, very decent resume, even the way you work your email, that will win the heart of those, the in my case, our talent or HR managers. Imagine they will receive resumes or application letter a lot every day. So what makes you stand out? So just make sure, even from the moment you write that email, make sure you have a nice opening. And copying Ibu Natalia, I agree 100%. Find what you like, do it with passion. Find then you go from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Marlin. And there are two more questions here, and I think the answers from the speakers can be the closing statement for this plenary session. The first question is from Doni from Stiami Institute. What's your innovative strategy related to your job? And the second one is from Maria Teresa from Unika Atmajaya. What are the strategies or steps that a small business can do to start collaborate with other human resources? So the answers from the questions will be the closing statement from the speakers. So I welcome Prof. Bala, Ibu Natalia, and Ibu Marlene to answer these two questions.
Okay, thanks Natalia for and also thanks for the students. I think they asked question from a very interesting question. They're all asking about the future. Okay, my final advice is really the question related to HR, collaboration in the small industry. Okay, again, the fundamental HR theory cannot apply to the small industry. Okay, currently I'm doing research on with my MBA student, small industry in Kelantan. We're going to study like food industry. We're going to study about printing company and so on. So we're going to come out with a new HR strategy for the small industry. Because you see, small industry, they don't need to have a big HR policy. They just need a simple HR policy, but the business keep on going. Example, I see a few of my lecturers running the food. They create a brand. They call coffee machine, same like Starbucks. They're doing very well. They're opening about 10 outlets. What they do is they bring the alumni from the student, run the business. So I am actually observer to see their HR. I didn't pay. They didn't pay anything for me. I'm just go to the restaurant maybe once a week like that. I see the workers and see the employees. Then I commented to the CEO, the owner. From there, they learn a lot. Basically, what I see in the HR, communication very important. Because let's say the customer want to come again to your shop, you must smile first. You adapt the airline, the airline people. When you go to aircraft, they will smile, they say hello to you. Even though they're forced to smile, they have to smile, okay? So you need to know the basic communication to make sure the customer will come again. So your smile actually bring them more, and then they must polite. You have to clean the things after immediate food, everything. So that is my advice to the small industry. Collaboration, of course, they can collaborate among the small industry. They can have some discussion. You look at the Korea and Taiwan, and then all these big company actually start from the family business. Originally, they come from small business, but today the big brand is LG, Hyundai, and so on. So the other question, I think she said, what skill? Of course, the other speaker already said, you need to have just like good heart. You always have a good heart to help people. When you respect your elderly people, you respect your managers, immediate boss, and you respect your friends, and you get a good friends, among your friends, discuss, and you come up with and that's why when we put the assignment in the group, they should discuss a creative project. And you have to, there's a lot of available resources in the online, a lot of resources. Also, your lecturer is your next person to ask advice for them. They will always help. Like me, I turn on my phone for 24 hours. Anytime the student can call, I can answer to them, okay? So it's kind of like some students, they're willing to come, ask their help, I help them. And example, Natalia, this semester, the student all pandemic, they have no internet, they come over to campus, and there are some group who come and see me, Prof, what we can do for the then I said, okay, there's one online business, you can start up this one. Of course, we have to get the approval from the university, but you can make money. I say, because the product is there with the industry. You just talk, only you need to communicate with the people. And they done, through WhatsApp, they already got order about 5 orders. They already earn about 200 ringgit. It's enough for them to eat for 1 month. So I start small. By the time they graduate, they can be independent. They don't need to work with someone. They're already earning about 5,000-6,000. So you can see that key is a communication, and to boost themselves is your HR skill that you must have. So God will help you if you have a good heart. You're willing to don't cheating, very high integrity, honest yourself, and you always go back to the religion. I in all my life I use religion as a base. My success actually come from the God. I can say that. So everybody believe in God. Doesn't matter what religion they are. But the teaching in like you go to the masjid, mosque, you learn something. Am I right? in the surau or you go to church, or everything good, pleasant. When you come back to the workplace or study, you will grow in that. So that's my final remarks lah to all the not only young people, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Bala. And please, Ibu Marlin. Or maybe Ibu Natalia, you can do. Oh yeah, Ibu Marlin, please, for the closing statement for the answers.
The innovation. So still in this situation, actually, we try to find and address, the questions of our customers or future customers, future guests. So we still make that simulation videos. One of the videos that we did actually is about what we saw before was akad nikah. We are having a new one which will be launched soon, which is the international wedding and traditional wedding ceremonies. Also a simulation with more elaborated more elaborated, more vendors coming in and more participants. So in there, we work together with one company that provides a robotic LO guest. If you come to the wedding, so normally you will see a board where you can see your guest list. Now this will be carried by a robot, so it will move around following you. It's pretty high tech. It's very interesting. So when it will launch, you can see it in our Instagram. So we had a preview and it was covered as well by international media as well. So that's one of the things. And again, just for this afternoon, I would like to say thank you again for everybody. Just remember that at the end of the day, you're the brand ambassador, but you also would like to instill that working with human resources and have that instilled, have the company's mission, vision, and brand promise instilled in everybody, in your colleagues and in your with your the employees of your company, because at the end of the day, everybody is the brand ambassador. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Marlin. And next, let's hear from Ibu Natalia Widiasari.
Yes, thank you, Mbak. The innovative is about idea. It can be idea, methods, or product. So with me in the middle of my research, I could make a new approach to how I contact my advisor, to how I gaining the data. Maybe it's not not like in corporate sectors, but that's what I did. That's what I do in my current activities. And as for the collaboration, I think if anyone have good intention, just raise your hand and ask for help, or approach a company you want to ask or company you want to collaborate. I think every company is open. My research interest is in CSR, and I think every company is open for any collaboration with mutual benefit. So if anyone needs something, you just raise hand, approach politely. I think it will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Natalia. And thank you for all the questions from participants. Thank you so much also for the speakers here, Prof. Bala, Ibu Natalia, and Ibu Marlin. And also thank you very much for the young generations here. We have Raisa Gloria, Emanuela Raika, Luis Daniel, and Daniel Shahreza. It is a very useful presentation and explanation. It teaches and provides new insight for us to prepare and learn how to be innovative, adaptive, and collaborative as human resources in facing the challenges of the future. Okay, and that's all for the plenary session for today. Thank you so much. I'm Elkris Natalia, and Alicia, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Elkris Natalia, for the session, and thank you for all speakers and Z generation representative for the meeting session. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Wangi to now stage.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank you to all the speakers here, Prof. Balakrisnan Parasuraman, and then Ibu Marlin, and also Ibu Natalia, as well as the alumni, Gloria, Reka, and also the students, Dani and Luis. It was a really great sharing that wider our knowledge. So all the students and the young generation will have a good preparation for their future and also compete with other potential candidates of the human resources. And also I would like to thank to the team that support this webinar. And there is also Dean and also Vice Dean who gave a big support for our collaborations. That's the key. If we don't have any support, then it doesn't work. So collaborations means teamwork as well as innovation and creativity. So everybody, I would like to remind you that there is a Konvensi Nasional Humas of PR National Convention that will be held on 4th and 5th December. And you may see the website of Perhumas or Instagram or other media social. So you can follow the updated information. Thanks again, and don't forget to stay healthy, stay happy, and keep innovative. Thank you, Alicia. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dolan Kartikawangi, for your closing remark. Before we end this webinar, I would like to remind all participants to fill in an e-form link shared on the chat room. And before leaving, I would like to announce the winner questions for from previous session. The winners are Alina, Rosalie, and Kathy. Please contact our committee. And then before leaving, let's take a picture together. So I invite you to turn on your camera and smile, please. Okay. Okay, so I will read again the winner of from the questions: Melinda, Rosalind, and Mercy. Congratulations. Now we're going to take a picture together. Please turn on your camera. Shall we start now?
So Alicia, let me take a picture first from slide 1 and until 5. Okay, wait a minute. For slide 1, 1, 2, and 3. For slide 2, there's a lot person do not turn on the camera. Please turn on first. I will wait 1 minute. So Yeah, okay. For second slide, 1, 2, and 3. For the third slide, 1, 2, and 3. The last slide, 1, 2, and 3. Alicia, thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Mas Ansel. Speakers, till we meet again, and stay healthy. Thank you for joining